One thing that is critical to know if you have a child who has a hearing aid in your classroom is how to troubleshoot the hearing aid and change the battery. This is a standard behind-the-ear hearing aid most often seen with children who have hearing loss in the school systems, especially the younger children. This is the behind-the-ear portion, and this is the ear mold. It's actually two different components. The ear mold fits on the behind-the-ear hearing aid when you put the outside curve to the inside curve, and you just gently push it on the hearing aid. The first thing you want to do if the hearing aid seems to be having a problem is to check the battery. Most often the battery is dead. You do this by opening up the battery door. And here is the battery inside the hearing aid. Gently remove the battery. Close the battery door. And these are little keychain battery testers that are quite useful and inexpensive. You test this battery by putting the plus side up, pushing against the little bar at the top, and if you see dark like you do right here, then you know that the battery has a charge to it. So this battery is actually working. You put the battery in the hearing aid with the flat side up and close the hearing aid. If it easily closes with the flat side up, then you know that you have the battery in correct. What you do not want to do is force the battery door closed. One way you can test the hearing aid to ensure that there is no crackling, no distortion, no intermittency, and that it's working well is by getting this common stethosset. It's a hearing aid tester, putting it in your ears, and put the end of the stethosset over the actual ear mold. Hold it in place and test using what we call the ling sounds. If the child can hear or you can detect all ling sounds with clarity, then most likely you can have access to all the phonemes in the English language with the same clarity. So we'll say oo, ah, e, s, sh, and those are the 6 ling sounds. If they all sound correctly and correct and good, then you can put the hearing aid in the child, and then you can have the child repeat the ling sounds to you as you test the hearing aid on the child, since the hearing aid sounds good. But what happens if it does not sound appropriate? Well, first you can clean the ear mold. You clean the ear mold by taking the ear mold off, like so. You have a brush and little wax loop. You can loop out wax like this. And if there's any type of sweat or moisture in the tubing, you can use an ear mold tubing blower, put it on top, and gently blow. You can feel the air coming out. You put the ear mold back on the hearing aid by simply making sure that outside curve is to the inside curve, like we mentioned before, and just gently put it in place. And if you turn it on, and you listen again, just like we did before, by gently putting this over it, putting this on, oo, ah, e, s, sh, test, 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 1, 2, 3. However, you still have no sound or there seems to be some type of intermittency, then it's time to go ahead and contact the audiologist and send the hearing aid back to the audiologist to see what the issue is. But those are the most common things that a teacher can do. Make sure the hearing aid is turned on. Check the battery, ensure that you do have a working battery. Ensure that the battery is inserted correctly with the flat side up. Listen with the stethosset. Make sure that you can hear all the ling sounds appropriately. There's no type of distortion. You can do test, 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 1, 2, 3. You don't have to use only the ling sounds. And listen for the clarity of it. And if there are any problems whatsoever with that, well then send it back to the local audiologist.